Last episode, I got in reloading, so you can only empty your clip, and once your clip was empty, well, I didn't really get in reloading per se. I got into the point where you could empty your clip and then you wouldn't be able to fire anymore, and I need to actually make it so that you can reload. I also set up total ammunition count so that you have a maximum amount of ammunition. So the first thing I need to do is actually make a reload animation, and just going to do something really simple here. It's going to be a universal animation. I think what I want to do on the first frame is actually, let's go over to like the 6th frame. Just going to kind of lift the gun up a little bit. I don't really want it to be out of camera view though. And I'm going to actually put this arm down lower. Okay, so let me go ahead and key those in. It's going to be a really simple animation. That bone looks really funny, doesn't it? I think I just need to rotate it a little bit on the Y. There we go. All right, so what I'm going to do is make him basically go down like he's grabbing another clip at the hip. It's not going to be really too fancy. And then it's going to bring it back up to the weapon where it will slap it on there, and then we'll call the reload animation good. Go ahead and bring this back up. Actually, I could probably just go here and copy. Go back here and paste. There we go. That'll make life a little bit easier. And add my keyframes. Not really much of a modeler, so I'm trying to kind of remember at the same time. I'm just about done with this. Okay, I think that'll be okay. Definitely quick. I might need to slow it down in the editor a little bit, but that's fine. For now, this will do. Now I just need to export my FBX file. Okay, so now I have to add in a new animation and choose it from the source take of reload and not looped, changing all the body orientations and whatnot. Go. All right, so it's obviously not a perfect loop, but that's fine because it's going to go from the reload to the aim animation, so it should blend fine. So let's go ahead and jump into the animator real quick. I'm going to make a drop in a new animation actually. Call it reload. And I need to add a trigger. And the reason I'm using triggers is because I have one for weapon change. So basically the weapon change will interrupt any animation, and that way if you start a reload and then you change your weapon in the middle, the weapon change will take over and it'll look proper. So that's the idea of that. Let's go ahead and change this trigger to reload. And now I just need to copy these two over here basically. So after the reload, it's going to go either to the pistol or the assault rifle aim, depending on the weapon index. These animation trees can get messy really fast. All right, and these have exit times, that's right. Use the same transition duration probably. So that's 0.3 for the pistol. I believe it's 0.5 for the assault rifle. All right, let's go ahead and test it out. I'm going to select my character. Actually, I need to select the first person animator. And now I'm going to go ahead and hit reload. Yeah, that was insanely fast. So I need to slow that down a bit, just like I expected. It looks like it's actually exiting early. Exit time needs to be at the very end of the animation. Let's try it one more time. Okay, so the animation is awful, but it works, and I do think I need to slow it down just a tiny bit as well. Okay, maybe not that much. Okay, so 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Okay, I think 3 seconds is probably okay, considering a weapon change takes like no time at all. Yeah, we'll go with that for now. I think that's fine. I think I broke something. This looked like the weapon was a little weird, like it's being held weird, but maybe that's nothing. Yeah, it's always like that. So the animation's just always been like that, so that's no big deal. All right, now I have to check out the weapon script. I need to make sure that I have an reload time in the weapon script. And I don't really like using animation triggers, because if you use animation triggers and you overwrite the animations, sometimes they break, and it's super annoying. It's actually really annoying 100% of the time. But I prefer to use timings. Plus, the timings are a lot easier to tweak. Also, another great thing if I use the timings is what I plan to do essentially is whenever I reload on the client, it's going to send a reliable RPC to the server, and the server is going to send back a message saying when the reload can be completed. That way it's server auth and the player can't hack their reload time, and it should work out pretty smoothly. I'm going to allow a little bit of leniency, so if the player is lagging a bit, but overall it should be pretty good. Go back to firearm, see if I have a recoil time, or reload time rather, which I don't think I do. So let me go back to this project real quick. And let me just select my character. Okay, equip delay, fire rate, damage. Don't have anything for reload time. I feel like reload time is firearm specific, so I'm just going to put it under firearm. Yeah, let's just do it here. By default, we'll just say 3 seconds. That will be adjustable. All right, now I need a reload key probably, and I'm gonna have to set up the animator. Let me set up the animator first because that's pretty low effort, and if I set up the animator, I can just get it out of the way. So that would be under something like jump. Let's do public void because it's a trigger, I suppose. I'm trying to think if I want to pack reload in with the movement, but I don't think I do. I think I want it to be its own action because it's not going to be called too frequently. So let's see, public void reload. I am fat fingering everything today. I'm going to take this code right here and copy it. Sets reload trigger, if I could type. Okay. I don't actually have a reload hash yet, so let me do that real fast. I believe that's what I called it. Let me just double check. Okay, come on. Okay, yep. I don't show the jump on the first person, but I do want to show it in the reload on the first person. So I'm going to get rid of that if check. And of course, I need to make an RPC for it. Oh, thank you. Yeah, this is actually going to be open source. So I make sure I have a ton of comments in here so everybody can follow along. I mean, I comment my own stuff pretty well to begin with, but I'm going a little above and beyond just slightly to make sure everyone can utilize this. All right, so that should be it for the animator. I do need to go into my combat script, or I believe weapon handler. Okay, check switch weapon. I'm going to copy this method, and I'm not going to need all of it, but I'm definitely going to use some of it. This is actually mirror, which is server authoritative. So this project is entirely server authoritative, all the way down to the movement. All right, so first, if the weapon index is not valid, I'm not going to reload. If input is not held, I'm probably not going to call it either, or not pressed. So let's do if input.get key down, key code .r return, or let's add a not pressing reload. And let me just go over all this. Looks good. Oh, you know what? I also need to check and make sure that the weapon has is actually missing ammo. So if weapon dot, okay, so I don't actually have one for is clip full. So let me add that real quick. Maybe I'll just add one for return total clip or maximum clip size. Return clip size. All right, so now I need to go to my firearm, and I'm going to keep this in order for the most part. So I'm going to look for is clip empty. I'm just going to drop it down here. Need to make that an override, of course. Yeah, I mean, if this was punter or pun 1 or pun 2, it would be saving me a ridiculous amount of work, because there is so much extra work put into making it full server authoritative. You don't actually need the brackets there. Returns how much ammunition the clip can hold. Okay. So if weapon dot return clip remaining is greater or equal to weapon dot return clip size, then return exit the method. No ammunition is missing. There's no reason that the clip remaining should be larger than the total clip size, but just in case. All right, let me just double check my changes here. Good. Good, okay. Now at this point I want to perform a reload. I got an equip weapon method down here. Now I just need to make a new one for private void reload weapon. I do need to see if I'm sending the weapon change as reliable or not. I believe I am. It's very important that I check that it's in order, because I think it's under fixed update. Yeah, so it is set as reliable, and I need to do the same thing for the reload because I need to make sure that it is, like I said, it's in the same order. I just realized too, another thing I have to do is I have to make sure that they can't reload their weapon until the weapon's brought all the way up. That's another thing I have to consider. So let me go back up here, and then I'm going to change send reload weapon. I need to go up here. I need to do private int queued weapon reload index equals -1. -1. If not -1, this holds the weapon index to reload. Okay. Now, what I need to actually do is go back down to check reload weapon. I guess it doesn't really matter what order I do this in. And for here, I need to do queued weapon reload index equals the current weapon index. And I need to make sure that I can't actually reload until the weapon's up, like I mentioned earlier. So for that, I have something already. It's probably be under fire time met. So I need to do a quick check on this. So I have a next fire time. Do I want to use this same value for reloading? The plus side of this is it's no extra work if I do. The downside is if you have a weapon with a long fire rate, then you won't be able to reload until after that fire time is met. I feel like that's probably okay. So I'm going to use this same method because in most cases the guns are going to have a really fast fire rate. Even if it's something really slow like a sniper rifle, I want the player to wait like that extra 100 milliseconds or 200 milliseconds or whatever between shots before trying to reload. So I'm going to actually use the same code. With that said, let me just go up here. Go back to the check reload. This is probably going to be multi-line 1. All right, awesome. And I think whenever I try to equip a weapon, it resets the fire time. Yes, perfect. Yeah, I can use that. That works pretty good, actually. Just trying to think in my head. I think I'm gonna have to combine the equip delay with the reload time, and we should be good. So let's go to back to check reload. Looks fine. I'm not actually going to run the reload until fixed update, just because. Boy, that's a tough one. If queued reload index equals -1, then return. I don't think people are going to know the difference if the reload happens instantly or if it happens next frame or two. So I'm going to go ahead and run that in fixed update and keep things consistent. kind of wondering if I just want to do the same thing to this. All right, so I'm running into a bit of a conundrum here. On my weapon change, I perform the weapon change instantly on the client, and then if I'm the owner of the object, I set a queue weapon change for it to occur on the server. But I'm kind of breaking that with my current logic, so I need to make sure I keep that very consistent. So let's go back to check reload weapon here, and then I'm going to take this code and I'm going to actually drop that away and then call reload weapon. Now I'm going to take a little bit from my equipped weapon. I'm probably going to actually have to do a lot of this over here. Okay. I need to find out why I have a boolean on this. True if the equipped weapon ignore. I don't actually have that parameter set up, so I need to set that parameter up. Okay, so that's just for the server. Basically what the server does is if this returns true, indicating that it was able to equip the weapon, then it will send the RPC to the other players. Param, and again, one more that you got. Come on, stop it. There we go. And lastly, return true if able to reload the weapon. All right. Ignore active is not used. This is for weapon changes, so I don't need that. Don't need to set the new weapon index. I do need to adjust the next fire time though. So it's going to be time plus weapon equip delay plus weapon. I don't actually have to use the weapon index because this is for something else. Okay. Reload duration is not public. I'm going to actually put this under weapon in general. I know not all weapons will need to reload, but trying to think. I suppose I need to make it so that reload won't work if the weapon doesn't support reloading. Let me go down to the bottom. I need to make a virtual under weapon. That's why it's giving me an error. Okay, so basically the default on weapon is going to return -1. And if that's true, if the value is -1, then it reload's not possible. All right, so that wasn't too bad. Let's see, I don't think I need the index. I do need to pass in if owner or not, so has authority. Ignore active is not used either. So right now I just need to get rid of these and get rid of that. Okay, I don't need to equip the weapon because that's not being used anymore. So now I need to do weapon.reload or perform reload. I could probably just call that reload. That would be much simpler. And I do need to call a reload on the animator as well. Okay, so basically what's going on is it increases the next fire time so that basically you can't fire until this weapon is reloaded and equipped, because it's going to go through the reload animation, which is however long I have it, and it's also going to go through the weapon equipped animation after. So that is essentially what's going on there. Then it's going to call reload on the weapon, which I probably need to actually fix that, because actually I could run it as a curatein, I suppose, on the weapon. I'll have to consider how I want to do that. I think I will run that locally on the weapon, and that will reload the ammunition and probably dispatch an event when the weapon reloads. And then I suppose I'll update the UI with that information. This is kind of tricky because I have to decide how I want to handle the timings on the reload, if I want to control it individually, or like if I want to control it on the weapon handler or on the weapon itself. I think it makes more sense to do it on the weapon itself. So let's go ahead and set that up. Okay, so this is actually kind of working out, because then I can go to, I have an equipped weapon. I thought I had an equipped weapon in here. Let me go back to my weapon handler. Bool equipped weapon, there we go. Yeah, so I have a set equipped option here under my weapon. Did I not override that? I might not have overridden that. So I do need to override that in this instance. So let's do public override void set equipped, calling the base, and now I'm going to if not equipped. So basically, if it's no longer equipping the weapon, then I will stop the curatein if it's not null, of course. So I'm going to do reload curatein, and I think I actually have tools for this. Let me check real quick, because I'm pretty sure I have something for this. Okay, maybe I don't. I thought I had that in my universal kit, but I do not. Basically, I have a tool or a set of tools for curateins where I can restart them, auto assign them, and stop them, and all kinds of fancy things, but I don't have it in this project. So do this the hard way. If reload curatein does not equal null, stop curatein. I know I'm saying that wrong. I don't care. Deal with it. Then I'm going to go ahead and stop the reload curatein. Okay, that should be fine. I should probably also nullify it. That would probably be good. Okay, yield return new wait 4 seconds. Return reload duration. And slap it to do in here. Perform reload. Had to add my using there. I have, did I not override the reload yet? I don't think I did, so let me just do that. Public void or public override reload. There we go. And I'm going to do reload cure. Actually, I'm going to first do if reload curatein equals null, then, or doesn't equal null rather, then return, because I don't want to start it if it's already running. I don't think that should ever happen, just in case. Now I'm going to do reload curatein equals start, and I'm going to call reload, and that will cue the reload. So let me put some quick comments in here. I know this is a lot of code, like it's less of the shiny visual stuff, but you're making a game, this is what you're going to be doing most of the time. So before I go too far, let me go back to my weapon handler and check out my reload weapon here. So it calls weapon reload locally, and then calls the animation controller. The next fire time is set when you call reload. I don't have to worry about resetting that, because if you change your weapon in the middle of a reload, it will actually reset the next fire time accordingly. And if you happen to like switch to a weapon and switch back with no ammo, you'll still have no ammo and you won't be able to fire until you reload, so it's okay. And this is all client side so far, by the way. I haven't actually added the server side part. Okay. So a little bit of a tricky situation here. I think when I call reload, I'm going to pass in the current ammo on the player. The reason is right now firing is reliable, but in case I want to make it unreliable and just make like a best effort to send the shots through, whenever the player reloads, I want them to pass in how much ammo is left in case one of those shots didn't make it through, which would cause like a desync. So for example, let's say I fire 15 shots on my client and only 14 make it to the server. So if I reload, it's going to take away 14 ammunition on the server, and the player is going to take away 15 locally, and now they're desync. But if I pass in how much ammunition is left in the clip when being reloaded, the client should always have less ammunition regardless of if everything made it through or not, or less or equal to. So I can essentially just take that data and remove that extra ammunition that the server has from the server client and sync it back up. Again, that's not really an issue right now. That's only if I want to make firing unreliable, but it's good to have the option just in case. All right, so I'm going to wait this time, wait reload duration, and now I'm going to I should probably check and make sure that there's actually ammunition left before I try to reload. That would be a good thing to do. Doesn't support reload. No ammunition is missing. No ammunition left to reload into clip. And I already have something for this. So the total ammunition remaining is actually a reserve. So I should probably rename that. I've been kind of pondering at that for a while, and it finally caught up to me as to what I should call it. That was a mistake. I should have had the wrong tooltip there. All right, so that's all fixed up. I should go back to my UI real quick. And I got an error, so it didn't compile. Comment that out real quick. Okay. So I just did a lot of stuff, and I'm not entirely sure what works. So let's see. I'm going to wait the delay, and then I need to do int. Let's see. Required ammunition equals. Let's say it should be return clip size minus return clip remaining. That's how much ammunition I need to fill out the clip. And I'm going to do ammunition to restore equals mathf dot minimum required ammunition and return reserve ammunition remaining. That way you'll select the lower of the values of whatever is required or whatever is left to be restored. Now I need to actually subtract that from the total. So let me just look at something real quick. Do I have some events up here? I'm just trying to find them. Okay. It's under weapon, I believe. Yeah, so let me just take a quick look. That needs to be renamed. I hate renaming things like this, but it just makes so much more sense if it says reserve instead of total. So that's what I'm going to do. And this is old code, so I need to change this to return reserve ammunition remaining. That was placeholder code at first. All right. I don't think I have an add to current clip. No, I do not. Protected virtual void add to current clip int value. And this is again something that is specific only to firearms. So you can do on clip remaining change dot invoke return current clip remaining. I don't have something for adding to reserve ammunition right now because I think once you're out, you're out. I might add like weapon pickups instead. All right, so now I need to do current. I thought I had. I thought this was public, but perhaps not. Equals current ammunition. Could just do plus equals, I suppose. And I need to do base dot add to current clip, and I'm going to do ammunition to restore. I'm going to do base dot remove from reserve ammunition, and that's ammunition to restore. I think that'll set it up. Now I know I'm missing something. It was something really small. It was just a naming thing. I want to say it was up here. Yeah. Current amount of ammunition remaining in reserve. All right. This is scary because I've been coding for like an hour almost now, and I haven't tested any of this yet. So I think you all know that feeling when you're like this deep in code and you're not sure if it's going to fall apart. So I guess we just have to wrap it up here and find out, because I know I still have some stuff to do too. That's the worst part. Jeez. Like this right here, check send reload weapon. Or rather send weapon reload. Okay, now I need to copy this. I probably want, yeah, I do want to send the index for sure. If not valid, then this isn't going to be used anymore. I'm just going to exit the method if the weapon index is not valid. And I need to add some checks as well before I actually try to reload on the server. So I'm going to take a lot of this right here, and I'm just going to paste it inside here. So weapon doesn't support reload, weapon index is valid, weapon clip remaining. No reserve remaining, fire time not met. Let me just check that real quick. Okay, that's fine. Don't need to check for the key down. I do need to, however, reload the weapon as false. I need to add a quick check. If reload weapon, so if it was possible to perform the reload, then it's going to send an RPC to everybody, which will also call the reload. Don't do it if you have ownership. Don't do it if the weapon index is invalid. That should never be the case. I'm going to call reload, and owner is going to be false. And this should cue the animation. I kind of actually don't need to, now that I have this set up, I just realized I don't think I have to have a special animator for this because I'm sending the RPC. Right, I am. So don't actually need to have this animator. I'm going to comment that out. There's going to be an error generated. Oh, we're so close. Made a typo. Going to fix that typo. Ah, what the heck. All right. This is probably not going to work. If it does work, then I mean, I'd be super surprised if it works. I really hope it does. Let's see, firing off a couple shots, pressing reload. Oh my God, it almost worked. At least it almost worked on client. So the reload was a little bit slow. That just means I need to turn the reload time down. So let's go to my main character, weapons, and reload durations probably need to be like 2.25, and on the Glock it's probably going to be the same because they both use the same animation. Okay, let me try one more time. Holding my fire key down. Yeah, I mean, that was... Doesn't seem like I'm reloading ammunition that time. So let's find out if that's because I'm holding fire down or something else. All right, so it looks like it's only reloading once. I wonder if that's because in my cure routine I'm not nullifying it afterwards. They do eventually nullify themselves, I believe, but there is a time frame after the coroutine executes that it's not null. So keep that in mind if you are doing things or using coroutines. You need them to be null or not. All right, so that was the issue. Let's go to the weapons again real quick. Back to reload, I think 2.5. Holding fire. Still a little slow. Let's go to 2.2 and holding fire, so it should start firing as soon as it's done. Reloading. Well, it's still really, I'm changing on the Glock. Whoops. Okay, try again. That's not bad. I think 2 seconds is probably pretty solid though. Yeah, okay, so that works for me. On the Glock, go to the Glock, empty out some bullets. I'm going to change this to 2 seconds as well. And I'm going to reload. I'm going to mash the fire button because this is not automatic. That looks pretty good as well. Mashing fire. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Now I need to test it over the network. Notice the text isn't updating, so I guess I should fix that first real quick. Let me go see if I'm actually listening to that. I think I am. I'm almost positive that I am. Yes, I am listening to that. I wonder if I'm... Let me just take a quick look at what could be going on. Oh, I don't actually remove it from the total ammunition, so that'd be why. Reserve ammunition minus equals ammunition to restore. I think that'll fix that up. And if that works, we're going to do a build and again, hope for the best. I am incredibly surprised that that actually worked relatively the first time. It's very exciting when that happens. Because you saw how long I've been here just working on this and coding without doing any testing. All right, let's just test the reserve ammunition real quick. Fire a couple shots, reloading. Perfect. All right, let's do a build. Build's probably gonna take a little bit, maybe like 30 seconds, because I haven't built in a while. I need to somehow, actually I'm gonna have to hack my reload speed on client to make sure that the server's not reloading. Let's bring the server on over. Going to make some room over here. Crank this a bit. Okay, let's start the server up. I'm not actually going to be able to see the ammunition and whatnot on the server, so I'm just going to empty it out entirely. I'm actually going to move over to the tent real quick. I can see that it's firing on the server, which is right, and now it's not. The animation is playing over the server. That's really good. Okay, at 15 shots, I'm out of ammo. I can't reload on the client. So that test passed. If I change weapons, I can fire my pistol. Oh, so that's a minor bug. it doesn't show the new reserve animation when I switch weapons. That's not a big deal though. I could fix that pretty quickly, I'm sure. Oh yeah, it doesn't show the total one either. That's not a big deal though. That's going to be a really, really easy fix. Now, let's rejoin. Run back to that tent if I don't spawn there. Okay. All right, so I fired off some shots. I'm going to go to my main character and I'm going to hack my reload speed and I'll actually leave the fire rate as is. Nah, let's go all out. Whoa, okay. All right, let's reload and start firing. You can see that the server firing didn't start at all, which is good, even though I totally just hacked away. I can't fire on client now because I emptied out my entire clip, but if I do another reload on client, you can see that it reloaded but didn't go through on the server. That's because the server already reloaded and it thinks the clip's full, and that was actually just a local action. So by cheating, you're actually punishing yourself on the client because it's going to desync you from the server, and the server is still going to be full server authoritative. See, now I can't reload on client, even though I know for a fact there is reserve ammunition on the server. The client doesn't think so. So if you're cheating on client, then because you know I'm gonna light that fly. I'm not going to fix that. I don't know why any developer would want to fix that. I'd much rather punish clients for trying to cheat. Although it is I'll say really fun to just kind of watch the gun just like shoot up really fast like that. Imagine just blasting someone instantly. Okay, that's really good. I have to fix that quick visual bug. That's not really a problem. That should be under weapon. All right, let's see if that works. I can do this as a client host, it shouldn't matter. I'm going to reload this one specifically. I'm going to leave it with 78 in reserve and 7 in the clip. But if I change 22 and 90, 7 and 78, 0 and 90, perfect. Okay. Obviously that's a lot of bullets and that's ridiculous. So we're going to allow the Glock to hold 12 still, and I think we're only going to give it 21 on reserve, maybe 20. That seems like a lot. It would make more sense if it was probably intervals of 12, which is the clip size, huh? Let's just say 22 and 11 in the clip. That way you have 2 extra clips to work with. I'm going to do 75 on the automatic. I think that will be fine. I honestly did not expect this to work first try. That is really, really, really good. I'm going to first just do one more build, and I'm going to test it on the spectator part. Now, if I'm seeing it on the server, more than likely it's going to be seen by spectators as well, because the server runs everything third person. That way hitboxes are lined up. but just want to test it to be thorough. All right, so I have one build up. I got 2 errors. What was that about? Maybe it didn't build. I think I might have had it open and forgot to close it. So let me try again. Yeah, it's taking a little bit longer, so it didn't build. All right, going to run this as server. I need to make or rather open a new build up. Drag this over here. Server only, client, client. Okay, so I can see my guy. I think red's a little hard to see in this map. Maybe it's just this one area. I don't know. I'm not entirely done with the level yet. So you can see I can actually, let me just look here. Stepped on a tree trunk. All right, so you can see as I look up and down that that's synced up too. All that's synced up. For those that are just joining, yeah, the jump animation's kind of meh. At one point, I'll probably replace a lot of animations with my own. These are from Mixamo and they're not great. So I have tracers. You can see tracers. I have muzzle flash. You can even see the recoil going on. Oh, I just saw the reload occur too, so that's good. And just to show you that you in fact cannot see players cheat, or rather that the cheats are not working, I'm going to start this one as a server and start this as a client. I'm going to start this as a client. Now I'm going to move on over, and it might not work because I just see an error down there. It looks like Unity's throwing an error. It's not because of my game. It's something with mirror and my network. I don't know if mirror's to blame or not. It's probably just me. But let's see, is that my own character? Yes, it is. So I can only see my arms, of course. Now I'm going to go down to my weapon. I'm going to increase the fire rate and the reload. Now I'm going to go ahead and fire, and probably what you'll see is because the pitch is synchronized, you'll probably see my gun shoot up, but you won't see the excessive shooting like the muzzle flashes. So let's test it out. Yeah, so that looked pretty normal to me for the muzzle flashes and the tracers. Yeah, you notice how whenever I reload and I'm trying to shoot when I'm reloading, it's not seeing what the server sees. So that's actually working pretty good. Now I'm trying to fire, but I can't because I have no ammo. And it's glitching because, like I said, I got an error. So everything seems to be working really good. I am incredibly surprised. Not going to lie. Did not expect that. I mean, I've been programming for a stupid long time, a really, really long time, like 8 years of my life at least. That's underestimating. C+ or C# alone, like 6 years. So I'm going to remove this code from the animator because I don't need it. I'm just really excited that that worked first try. I thought it was going to take a lot more work than that. Awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and make a backup. I'm going to do that off screen because I have other people's projects in my Git application, and I don't want to reveal them. Okay, backup, typing notes, you're just going to have to imagine it in your head. Made reload animation, or you can hear my loud typing, that might help visualize it. Added reloading for client and server authoritative. Fixed ammunition counts not changing when alternating weapons. I guess that's it. It doesn't sound like I did a lot. It's only 3 comments, but there's obviously a lot done. Let me take a quick look at my Trello. See what's going on with that. Knock some things off. Oh, that Trello link is public, by the way. Let me get you that link real quick. One moment, please. Gotta find it. All right, so here's Trello. This is for my Mirror tutorials as well, FPS Land. And I probably should have put this in at the beginning. This is my Discord. And if you're bored and you have money to throw around, you can support me on Patreon here. Or you can send me PayPal, whatever. It doesn't. I don't care. You don't have to. I'm just saying if you want to. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for coming by, and I'm really glad that went well. I'm going to check things off my Trello here in just a second, and I will update in my server in the general channel what I plan to do next time. See ya.